Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, last episode I grabbed these islands from Portugal. They backed down so that it wouldn't create an intercontinental war. But that highlighted the importance to me of increasing relations with my non-neighbors. And my neighbors as well. I guess I created a lot of tension when I decided to do a war in Indochina. So let me see. I got a little bit more influence, but it's not quite enough to play with right now. Oh well. That's fine. So these naval bases do need to be increased in size. Yeah, I think I do. I am still gonna to do my naval expansion, and then we'll do those railways, and then the cash flow should be a little bit better. You know, it's useful for the government to build railways. I think the China campaign we're really going to wait on for a bit. Because I've got a lot of infamy, and I can stand to just let my infamy die down. Investment pool is rock solid and continuing to increase in size, so I can also certainly be using plenty of cash to increase the size of the economy. The economy has been steadily increasing in size. In fact, I have actually surpassed France in the size of my economy, and am hurtling towards surpassing the United States as well. So I'm feeling really rock solid about that. The Tuscans are absolutely furious, but, you know, it is what it is. I could really use a little bit more influence. Petite Bourgeoisie petition government. Representing his constituents in the Petite Bourgeoisie, Francese B.E. Margai has... Margai? I think that's Margai. Has issued a formal petition to the Spanish government to pass guaranteed liberties. One last matter for the day, sir. Members of your constituency arrived this morning. They're asking rather loudly and insistently if you would meet with them about new legislation. Is that it? Goodness, you look as if you've seen a ghost. Sure, I can spare the last hours of the light for them, can't I? I believe so, sir. They weren't taking no for an answer. Just once. Well, I'm sure I'll have opportunities to refuse petitions in the future, but guarantee liberties is a good one for us. So we'll see what we can do. And in fact, what we can do is pass guaranteed liberties. It's going to be real easy. The armed forces are going to be a little salty, but that should be fine. We've got plenty of bureaucratic capacity to handle an increase in in institutions. Cancel road maintenance there. Throw a consumption tax back on coffee. This is a very modest decrease in cash flow, so I think that'll be fine. Install chance is really low here. I know this doesn't seem like... Ooh, disease outbreak. That's not great. I know this doesn't seem like that big of a surplus of bureaucracy, but keep in mind, I've got a bunch of government sectors that are not converted over to centralized filing system yet. So once those are converted over, I'm going to have a lot more bureaucracy to play with. But I don't need to do that yet, so I'm not going to. Right now, we can just stay chill. Let's see, Ottoman Empire is going after... Who is this? This is a Bosnian uprising. Well, unfortunately, I thought about helping, and I thought about helping the Albanian uprising, but I was doing other stuff. I think reasonably. I don't regret my decision doing that, but I wish I'd had a little bit more leeway. But it is what it is. Come on, guaranteed liberties. Discord within the Catholic Church. An influential faction within the Catholic Church has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of guaranteed liberties. Themselves in favor of the law, they've now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. How can you stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor, of duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. With their support, the bill shall pass. 15% enactment chance, Catholic Church slightly weaker. Or the rural folk extend an open hand to these mavericks. Catholic Church significantly weaker, rural folk a little stronger, slightly smaller increase in enactment chance. I'm going to go with the second one. Enactment chance is really high, and again, strengthening the rural folk is basically always going to be right in this run. Construction efficiency in Borneo isn't too bad. Do I want to incorporate these islands? I don't think so. Now, the Canaries were always mine. I could incorporate, but yeah, I don't think that's useful. Ooh, corporate charters. Ooh, that gives me a company slot. So let's see what companies I can get. I'm not going to read out all of these bonuses. Ooh, extra infrastructure is extremely tempting. But I should get an agricultural company. Yeah, unfortunately, oh, it's that building levels transfer thing. I don't know how to deal with that, honestly, friends. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how I get that number to not be 0. Not be what it currently is. Because this clothing interest that I can get an innovation increase out of seems extremely, extremely strong. La España Industrial. Currently would not increase in prosperity. I need building levels to be available. Currently 0, but so this is cotton plantations and textile mills. So cotton plantations. So textile mills, I got a bunch. I can't really look at ownership from there. I'm going to need to go to the building browser. Spanish-French society demands action. Request that we dissolve our treaty agreement with Austria. Austria is a known opponent of French interests. We must be as comprehensive as possible. Any other approach is irresponsible. Austrian aggression is as old as the hills. I fear it may appear as if we are using our own nation as a piece on a chessboard for the sake of a foreign power. What would you say if pressed? A circumstantial alignment does not subordinate us. In this case, French interests happen to be Spanish interests. It is as simple as that. The Spanish-French society is just the intelligentsia. This is not in our interest. If their appeasement goes down, that's fine. Alright, so let's hit the building registry. What do I need to do? Cotton plantations. So none of these are owned by the government. So let's... Alright. I want to be reasonable here. None of these are owned by the government. And the textile mills, let's see if that's the same. Yes, okay. None of those are owned by the government. So, rousing speech captivates the public. This afternoon, Francesc P.E. Maragall, leader of the Petite Bourgeoisie, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of guaranteed liberties. Making an appearance before the public in Madrid's main square, Francesc P.E. Maragall's powerful rhetoric left his most bitter political opponents impressed. Excerpts from the speech are already being circulated across Spain, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. This should ease the path to reform greatly, 15% enactment chance, or performances like this reflect well on Francesc P.E. Maragall and his cause. Less enactment chance, but he becomes more popular. I'm going with the first one. Enactment chance is all I need here. So, potential headquarters location, Castile. I'm not sure what this does, but I think it means the items, the buildings need to be here. So, I'll grab these cotton plantations and I'll nationalize them. 50k into the investment pool, that's fine. Alright, so these are nationally owned now. So, now that I've done this, does that number go up to 1? Yes. Alright, so next, we'll grab the textile mills. We'll nationalize 1 level. And we'll see if that goes up as well. Where's my companies? Okay, 2. Alright, so now we build a cotton plant. We throw that one at the top of the queue. And we nationalize the rest of those textile mills. And then we'll be able to form our company. Yes, it's going to irritate some people, but that's okay. Alright, beautiful. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So it is going to be an industrial company, but it's, you know, it's going to be a moderate. It's only going to be a little industrial. Plus, we're really giving it back to the people when we form that company. That's really what we're doing here. I don't know if that's a sensible way of looking at things, but that's what we're doing. Influence is still a little low. I don't want to rival Brazil, because Brazil is a large, powerful country. They're a major. They've got a fleet and they've got an army. And I'm already rivaling a lot of countries. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I might get swarmed. Let me see, Russia's the Baltic Governorates. Prussia's involved somehow in this war. Oh, they're a non-negotiating participant against Russia. Interesting. Did they just side for the fun of it? I think they did. That's very funny. Alright, we're in drafting for guaranteed liberties. That's beautiful. That's just excellent. Alright, we got our cotton plant built. Let's form our company. Alright, beautiful. So now that's moved to the, where is it? Here it is. La España Industrial, establish. Alright, and now we should be at our companies, and this company is productive. And it's gonna own a bunch of different places all around the country. So far it only has 5 levels, but it's hiring a bunch of capitalists and shopkeepers and clerks. So that should be just fine. Company throughput bonus, company construction bonus. It is going to get that innovation. Now the question is, are they going to be able to buy those other things? I think yes. I don't have the ability necessarily to transfer other other building levels to them, but I don't think that should be an issue. Let's see. Where else do I have textiles being manufactured? Toledo, surely. Hey, now we're in voting. Alright, it doesn't appear that I can do anything except for, banks ever nationalize, but again, I don't think I need to. I think as long as the company is reasonably productive. Oh, the productivity bar, the prosperity bar is longer, isn't it? Yeah, it's up to 200. Never mind. It's not longer. I'm just silly. Ooh, we've got a progressive party. Pops living below minimum standard of living in Catalonia. That's not ideal. So, we've got a progressive party in the election now. And it consists of the intelligentsia and the rural folk. I can't boot the Petite Bourgeoisie out of the government right now, but I can as soon as I finish passing guaranteed liberties. Not that I necessarily want to. Wow, this is really fun. Oh, but these are going to even out after the election. So it'll be fine. So that'll be interesting. Alright, we got a bunch of events here. A radical expansion. The ideas of the Democratic Progressive Party have been raising interest throughout the country, leading to potential turmoil. Those who profess to favor freedom yet depreciate agitation are people who want crops without plowing the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the roar of its many waters. And they should expand further. 2% of pops in Toledo become radical, 20% momentum. Or they're compromising the unity of Spain. Rural folk and Petite Bourgeoisie get a little salty, but reduce momentum. So, let me see. Progressive Party is actually where I want the momentum right now. So they're compromising the unity of Spain. Industrial barriers. Factories in Navarra have been reported to be placing Basque people into roles with incredibly poor working conditions, owing to their status as second-class citizens in Spain. Interesting. I know. Us businessmen have a reputation for only caring about the bottom line. That may be true for some, but the way I see it, any venture must be built on a strong foundation of values. The Basque don't understand those values. How could they? They're our values. This unequal treatment cannot stand. Weaker and angrier Petite Bourgeoisie, extra-cultural majority movement pop attraction, or they're lucky to be given any job at all. Ooh, -2 standard of living for Basque. That's not okay. Reduced cultural majority movement pop attraction, bunch of radical pops. I'm going to say this unequal treatment cannot stand. The Petite Bourgeoisie will be fine. Cause without a rebel. Although Santiago Suadrada is still fighting for his cause, no one is following him anymore. Despondent Suadrada has started publicly remarking that he may give up on his activism altogether. What's the point? Speakers we have any speak to empty halls and in empty chairs. There's no crowds, no banners. If anyone pays attention at all, they never understand what we're preaching. What reason is there to stay here? We're all stuck doing nothing. Perhaps he can find greener pastures elsewhere. He leaves the country. Or no time for timidity. The movement needs drastic change. I don't need to strengthen the liberal movement at the moment. They're doing just fine. In fact, they've achieved almost everything they want to achieve. Are they leading to, are they causing loyalization? They're not really. So yeah, he can go. Bye! Alright, so how does this impact the election? Getting them close. They're close together. Very cool. Alright, so guaranteed liberties is looking just fine. There it goes. Beautiful. So that completes the government petitions. Now I can safely boot the Petite Bourgeoisie out of the government. Let's go ahead and swap some of our government sectors over to the standardized filing system so that I can have a little bit more bureaucracy to play with, so that I can increase the size of the guaranteed liberties system. In fact, but first, falling in line. The Catholic Church, prominent supporters of the Moderate Party, have proposed support for the Anti-American League to be a component of the official party platform. I've considered the risks and I'm willing to push it forwards. The fact of the matter is that voters do not and have never cared for anything outside of our borders. Even if the climate shifts heavily against the United States of America in the coming months, we may still run our internal policy without compromising our more wide-ranging principles. I see the rationale. Nevertheless, I would like to know more before committing to a side. The stance our nation takes must not be informed by the whims of ideologues, but rather hard necessity. The party stands together on this. Armed Forces joins the Anti-American League and be accused of foreign puppeteering, weaker Catholic Church. This could benefit the party's campaigning. Extra momentum for the moderate party. I don't want extra momentum for the moderate party, so I'll go with the second one. Because I don't want more anti-Americanism in the country political sphere either. Do I max it? I don't think I need to. But, you know, might as well. So that's the Central Archives. Filing cabinets. The use of filing cabinets in the government administration has drastically increased the effectiveness of the state bureaucracy. The future isn't in flying like a bird nor in roaring along in a train. No, the future is in filing. I love bureaucracy, 5% bureaucracy, or store information about our citizens, extra progress towards ID documents. Where are we with that? We haven't even started. Extra progress towards ID documents, ahoy. Alright, next thing. Identification documents is a tier 3, actually, so I'm not going to have started that for a while. Alright, we'll just go ahead and queue Home Affairs all the way up to level 4, and that'll be just fine. Cash flow is doing alright. It could be better, but it could also be worse. We're starting to get a little bit of credit, but again, I'm not worried about that. Finances are very solid. I need to improve the situation in Catalonia, and I think the best way to do that is to increase the wheat industry there. How profitable would it be if I built tobacco plantations? Pretty profitable. Same with cotton, so let's do it. Hey, and there's organized sports. That'll give us a nice little extra prestige bump. That'll be fun. And I'll probably need to increase infrastructure here as well. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll throw that at the top of the construction queue just to make sure that gets done within a good, within a reasonable time frame, and to make sure that I'm not building a bunch of buildings that increase the strain on the infrastructure without increasing the infrastructure itself. Overly enthusiastic partisans. Supporters of the moderate party have gone beyond simply campaigning for their own party, harassing and sometimes physically attacking opposing partisans. I'm a simple party man, that's all. I know who I like and I know who I don't like, and I know I want my people to win and their people to lose. Crack down on moderate party activities, minus 10% momentum. Let them continue unmolested, weaker rural folk. Crack down! Can't attack the rural folk in my Spain. Alright, so that increases the momentum of the other parties. Again, if I could get like a slightly stronger progressive party, that would be lovely. Because if they can win the majority, that'll make things easier. Obviously, Isabel de Bourbon is an intelligentsia ruler, which is going to make a lot of this easier. And that's not going to change. Ooh, I got more influence to play with. Alright, let's work on... Ooh, let's actually work on Great Britain. Misplaced moderation. Rafaela Gayenga has criticized numerous decisions made by the leadership of the Progressive Party, calling Jaime Miaja excessively cautious and unwilling to address critical issues. I often wonder, looking at the activities that we carry out, specifically those which are most crucial to expanding our pool of supporters, whether Miaja is authentically aware of or dedicated to their success. Our fundraising is generally acceptable. The coffers of the party are without complaint, neither are our accountants, but such resources have yet to be mobilized in ways that benefit the common good. And so my thesis is this: what does Miaja intend and how best to change his mind on this matter? It would be best to simply do as he wishes, reduce popularity but extra momentum, or make a point of improving the vigor we put forward. Less reduction in popularity, less increase in momentum. No! All momentum all the time, baby. Let's do it. Alright, so what does that change? That... Well, they're not the majority, but they're close. Kind of got a tripartite electorate right here, where all the parties are pretty close to an even amount of projected votes, with the Democratic Progressive Party being a little higher, and the Progressive Party being a little, and the Progressive Party being next, and the Moderate Party being a little lower. The Anti-American League offers an opportunity to sign a trade agreement with the French Republic. Their proposal, if accepted, is intended to counter American interests. It was a veiled sort of aggression, one which could in theory appeal to both ardent jingoists and those who preferred to mitigate losses. It would force the enemy to respond, possibly drive them towards reckless confrontation in response to a seemingly benign maneuver. A plan to fight the United States of America to the last Frenchman, one minister remarked. The representative flushed. He had practiced responses along both lines, but none of them quite fit. We'd be happy to pursue this. Hey, France, do you want a trade agreement? Cool. And there's the election. So, at this point, I can throw out the Democratic Progressive Party. Oh, interesting. The industrialists want into the Democratic Progressive Party. Or I could form a block of... I do like having a legitimate government. But I don't necessarily want the Petite Bourgeoisie... Well, are they likely to petition me for anything that I don't want? They're going to be very upset when I try to go to consumption-based taxation. And they dislike my policing policy. They don't like guaranteed liberties, although they currently like guaranteed liberties, but they won't later. Democratic Progressive Party, you're out. Alright, so, now, I can go to consumption-based right away. How's my cash flow? I'm getting 2/3 of revenues from non-consumption-based situations. We'll wait on that. I do want to go there eventually. It's a place I want to go eventually. But, interesting. A lot of the country wants a republic. But I can keep monarchy. I can afford to keep monarchy. So we'll keep monarchy. I'm actually going to put these railways at the bottom of the queue. And we'll get those wheat farms in Catalonia. We'll get all the... we'll get the agrarian expansion in Catalonia running so that I can have all that I desire to have. And more, sooner rather than later. But you're going to love this. This is a little trick I call making sure the infrastructure stays in place where I need it. Joint stock companies. I'm going to get another company, but only in a second. We wait till these get up to 1 week, and then once that happens, which will be very soon now, we take them down to the bottom of the queue. Now we do the same with these ones. And again, the goal is we're going to wait until the railway gets built before we let all those get built. Because once the railway is built, we'll have enough infrastructure for it to be fine. Denmark's being cut in half, but... nope, that's Norway. My bad. Alright. These things happen. And then once those are done, we'll throw the other projects back up at the top so that they can complete. And then everything will be hunky-dory in Catalonia. Which would be pretty cool, since historically it's been a tough place to live. A lot of political goings-on with Spain that make things complicated. All right, we'll throw those at the bottom. Let these other plantations get nearly finished. And then, when the railway completes, all of these will just get finished out real fast. Beautiful. All that gets built, everyone's happy, and we all get to Scotland at the same time. I haven't gotten to Scotland any time in this run, but I could. It'd be nice. Anyway, once Home Affairs is up to level 4, we'll be doing really rock solid. And that's going to make things a lot easier in terms of keeping the country happy and free. And that is going to be good. Any other changes to the law? Is now a good time to go to agrarianism. The industrialists do not like it. The rural folk like it. The industrialists are doing fine. They're chill right now. Is their opinion going to go up or down? I think it's basically going alright right now. So I think we're currently on interventionism. 50% private construction allocation, 50% government dividends reinvestment, plus 25% government efficiency, plus 50% nationalization investment return, disable nationalization without compensation. 50%, 50%, 30% government dividends efficiency versus 25% in agrarianism. 50% nationalization investment return. Extra contribution pool efficiency from aristocrats, farmers, and clergymen reduced from capitalists. Let's do it. Let's go to agrarianism. Agrarianism is the future of Spain. Hopefully this won't prove to be a gigantous mistake. Population's looking rock solid. Still working on knocking out the tier 2s in society. I think I'm actually going to do pan-nationalism first and steel frame after. Because I really, really want to get my, I really want to get Iberia formed. I got real reckless going after areas to make sure that that was a success, and now I'm really feeling like I want to get that going. The Voice of the Nation. A group of respectable musicians, musical composers teaching at the Arts Academy in Toledo have approached us. They've drawn attention to the alarming lack of a proper national anthem fit to invigorate our people's spirits. Land of fighting, impossible surrender, of this nation the proud defenders, born from the night and blessed by day to drive all our enemies away. Now that's a cool national anthem. Amorgno Escor. Alright. And we've almost finished out our railways, so that'll put our finances in a better spot. Investment pool is still reasonably full, so I should be able to leave things be for a while. Home Affairs is up to level 2, that's rock solid. So when we go to consumption taxes, what am I going to be taxing? It's probably going to be clothes, fish. I might put one in grain, but I think furniture is going to be the target. So basically, how much am I spending on consumption taxes right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm spending 1,000 on consumption taxes. So I'm going to have about 1,000 more to play with. So highest kind of ratios, yeah, it's definitely going to be clothes, fish, furniture. And that's going to give me an additional 40. And that hopefully will compensate for the huge amounts of income and poll taxes I'm going to lose. It's going to be tough. Oh, City of Plenty. The most prominent members of Asturias high society have been seen organizing luxurious parties in the new and lavish urban buildings. Marble walls, shimmering stone. The noise of people coming and going brings the city back to life, and we didn't even know it was dead. Tall buildings cover the sunset, kids play with bricks, smoke blends with the clouds, and a distant bell announces the next train. Progress is coming. So, this is a fun little event. I really like this event. We have two options here. First, let them celebrate. 10% of upper and middle stratum pops become more loyalist. Or the party will never end, which is instead of 10%, it's 25%, but it increases the minimum standard of living for the upper strata by 3 for 9 years. So, the real question is, what's the standard of living for the upper strata and what's their minimum expected? Their minimum expected is 19 and they're currently at 20. So there is no way, if I pick the second one, that's going to put their minimum expected above their current average. And that's a disaster waiting to happen. Mass radicalization for the upper class is incoming. No way I'm going to do that. So in this case, I'm just going to let them celebrate. Beautiful. Alright. That having been said, though, that is actually all the time we've got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.